Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abhishek. Hope you all are doing well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon in order to get the latest and latest notification first. So without much further ado, let's start out today's video. So today we are going to solve unique parts. Now it is a medium level question from LeetCode. The question states that we are given a robot which is located at the top left corner of a m cross n grid. Now that grid is considered to be the starting index of that. If you consider this um, diagram, right? Now the robot can only move either down or right at any point in time. The robot is trying to reach the bottom right corner of the grid, which is marked as finished in the diagram. Now we need to find how many possible unique paths can be there. So by the question it says that the robot is at the top. Yeah, it is at the top left corner of the grid, right? So if you see the top left corner, then it is this position, right? So this is the starting point of the robot, right? And while its finish point is at the bottom right corner of the grid, right? So if you see in this grid, the bottom right corner is this, right? So the top is always start from 0, 0, while the finish point is m minus 1, n minus 1, right? Now we need to find a unique part. So one of the part can be like this. The robot can, since we can only move either in downward direction or in right. So those are the two directions the robot can move. So it can happen that so this can be one of the part of for the robot, right? So similarly this can also be one of the part that it can go like this way, then it can go like this, right? And finally it reaches to the finish line, right? So 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 similarly, if you consider this example, here we are given the number of rows as 3 while the number of columns is 7, right? And the total number of unique parts for this input is actually 28, right? So there are 28 such parts, right, through which the robot can go from start to finish, right? I hope that you understand this problem. Now let's understand the algorithm for this problem. So our robot is currently at 0, 0, right? Now by the question it is said the target is actually m minus 1, comma n minus 1, right? So let's consider a grid of 2 cross 3. So right. So our target will be 1, 2, right? Now this is going to be our target, right? So the robot is currently starting from 0, 0, and it can go either in down, right? That is either down, right, or it can go to right. So these are the two possible paths the robot can go. So let's consider a grid 2 cross 3, right? So let's consider a grid 2 cross 3. So now to understand it more better way. So there's a grid which has 2 rows, right, and 3 columns, right? So let's consider this to be 0. Okay, this is 1, this is 2, right? Well, this is 0 and this is 1, right? So currently our robot is starting from 0, 0, right? So from here this is the starting position of robot and this is our finish position of robot, right? Now currently our robot is starting from 0, 0, so it so it can go to down. So if it goes to down, so it will be in 1, 0 position, right? But if it goes to right, so it will go to 0, 1 position, right? Now the robot is currently at to 1, 0, right? At this position, right? For if at this position, if it tries to go down, then it would go outside this boundary, right? So when it moves outside the grid, so we're going to return 0, right? And let's see, yeah, it can go right? So if it goes the right, so it will be in the cell of 1, 1, right? Now now if you consider this, right, so if you consider this, then if it goes down, right, that is, it is in this position. If it goes down, so it will be in the position of 1 comma 1, right? So now, and if it go right, so it will be in the position of 0 comma 2, right? The robot is currently in the position, so if it go right, so it will be over here, right? So now it is over here. So if it tries to go down again, it will be out of the grid, right? So again we need to return 0 for this cell, and for this cell again we need to, so it will be having we will be going to 1 comma 2, right? For this, so also we are going to do a similar thing, that this will be 0 and this will be 1 comma 2, right? Okay, and now at index 0 comma at so in the cell 0 comma 2 at this position, right? So if it tries to go down, so it will be in the position of 1 comma 2, right? But if it tries to go right, so then it will be going outside the switch, so it will be returning 0, right? Now now if you say, now our target is 1 comma 2, right? So if you see it has already reached to our target. So when it reaches our target, we're going to return 1. So since it reached our target, so we're going to, so when it reaches our target, we're going to return, so when it we're going to return 1, okay? And so when it reaches our target, we're going to return 1 again. See, it reaches to our target, we will return 1 again, okay? Now now then we are going to sum this. So this guy has returned me, so this downward portion returned me 0, so we're going to sum this up. So 0 plus 1 will be 1, so 1 will be over coming over here, right? Again we are going to sum this 0 plus 1, so again it will be over here, right? For this case, if you see, then this is currently 0, this is 1, right? So if you sum this 1 plus 0, so it will be 1, right? Again if you sum this 1 plus 0, it will be 1, right? Now if you sum this 1 plus 1, then it will be 2, right? So this will be, if you say 1 0, sorry, this will be 1, right? Because if we are summing 0 plus 1, right? So if you sum 1 plus 2, it will be 3, right? So there are three unique parts. Let's see what are those parts. So if you consider this part, so this is one of the part, right? So we can consider this also to be one of the part, right? Similarly, we can consider this, this, and this also one of the part. So there are three parts, right? So but the time complexity for this algorithm is actually 2 to the power m n into m, right? Or you can say m into n, similar, okay? So since it is 2 to the power m into n, so if the size of the grid is too high, then it will show a TLE, right? It is going to show us a TLE. Now we have to remove this TLE, right? So in order to reduce this time complexity, what we can do is that over here we see that this 1 1 and this 1 1 actually, there are some cells which is getting repeated, right? So, and hence we need to calculate these cells again, right? We need to again go to down and right. We need to perform the same operation again and again, right? And this is actually causing our TLE, right? So what, to avoid this TLE, what we can do is that we can store this value, right? We can have a vector that is a 2D array, or yeah, we can have a 2D array. So where we'll be storing this value, that is so that is at index 1 comma 1, we'll be storing, yeah, we'll be storing 1, right? And thus if we visit if we visit the same cell again, then we already have this value stored, right? So we don't have to calculate, we don't need to perform this operation again, right? So this operation will be, we don't need to perform this operation, right? And hence we will be saving a lot, right, of time. Now, so the for this we are going to use the concept of dynamic programming, right? Now let's see what by doing this using dynamic programming we will achieve this right. We are going to solve this problem in big O of n cross n, right? Yeah, we are going to solve this in big O of m and m, right? And since we are using a dp over here of which size is n comma n, right? N cross n, so will be space complexity will be m and n. Now let's see how we are going to solve this using dp. Now let's code this problem. Okay, so let's first declare a dynamic program or dp over here. It is a we are going to take a 2D vector array over here. So let's take it a dp whose size is m cross n, where m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. So let's declare m cross n, right? Mm, so m cross minus 1, right? Now once we have declared the dp, now we are going to have a function, right? Let's name it as solve, right? We're going to return this function, so let's write return solve, and in the function we're going to pass dp as parameter. We're going to pass m, the number of rows, number of columns, and 0 and 0 is actually the starting position of the robot, right? So now let's declare the function solve. Okay, so we'll be having a solve which is solve, right? So now we'll be writing the parameters as vector of and dp, right? And here goes your m, that is the number of rows, in the number of columns, right? Next we would be having I, and finally we are having j, right? So now let's write this. At first write the base conditions. So our first base condition will be when our I is equals to m minus 1, and our j is also is equals to n minus 1, right? That means it has reached to a target element. Then we are gonna target, right? Then we are gonna return 1, right? But let's say if our I, but since we have taken this part as if so if the robot continues to go downwards, then what will happen? We found this that is I is keep on increasing, right? So we need to maintain our I. So if our I goes beyond m, right, or equals to m, or if this robot continues to go towards the right, then what will happen? Then this j is actually increasing, right? So we need to maintain our, so if our j goes beyond the boundary, right, then we're going to return 0, right? Now if now we're going to check whether the dp of I and j is not equals to minus 1, so whether this cell is visited or not, right? So if it is, so if it is not, if it is visited, right, then we're going to return whatever stored in our dp, right? That is going to return dp of I comma j, right? Else what we're going to check, we're going to have a l, right? Let's name a variable l. Now we can either move down or right? So we need to write those. So we need to pass the parameter as dp in and I plus 1. Now this is a condition for when the robot moves in down, right? So this is the so this is a call for down, right? So this is a down operation that we are performing over here, right? Now next we need to perform the right operation, right? So we can perform the right operation by writing solve. Now when we are moving right, and what's changing? We are changing j, right? That's what increment. So we need to increment j by 1. Now this is your right operation, right? So next we are going to return dp of I comma j, right? Which will be equals to l plus r. That's what we are doing. We are actually summing, if you consider this, we are actually summing in 0 and 1, right? We were actually summing the right and down and the right upper, right? And hence we are actually adding them up. So now let's run this code and see. So if we run this code, so you'll find that, so there's an error over here. So shall should be, so return a value, right? So we should return a value to the solve, right? So what is the problem over here? Problem is, okay, sorry. So we have taken, so this will be int, right? Okay, sorry. Now let's run this again. So now see, now let's submit this code. So if I submit this code, you'll find that it is accepted, right? See, accepted, right? I hope that you have loved this video. If you like this video, do give us a thumbs up to the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon in order to get the latest notification first. So that's all for today. Thank you. Thank you.